Welcome to JK Games, a gaming podcast where we bring you the gaming news we care about.
And maybe some that we don't.
And whether you play on easy mode.
Or you like a good challenge.
This is a show where we'll try to level up. We'll try to level up your gaming knowledge. I tried to go down underneath my desk.
I saw.
Like completely, but I couldn't make it. I was still in the frame. I was like, oh no, it's...
She's
and
down.
then I got stuck on the rug. Because the rug's like right underneath my chair wheel. So, hello, I'm one of your hosts, Jerica.
And I am your other host, Kayla. And we're
and
here to...
Okay, let's take the reins. Okay. I'm going to give it back to you. You're on this horse. I'm not on the horse. I'm on the side buggy.
I was just saying we're here to talk about some doom and gloom. Doom and gloom.
It is pretty gloomy, our Backlog of Doom. It's I will say, I cannot wait to get to the topic, though, because I have made some progress, but the list got a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
So
mine did as well. Jerica, what are we about here? I feel like you were going to tell the audience what we do here.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
Libby.
Jumped the gun.
No, you got excited. We're all excited about this. Here at JK Games, we talk about video games and random other bits of news that might come out about comic books, because Kayla likes to read comic books, right? Please, I hope that's right. Hope I'm not making up the lie. She also reads books, like regular books without pictures. I only pretty much read comics, graphic novels, because I like pictures.
Fair.
So we occasionally talk about those things. We have a whole other show called Clickerbait where we dedicate our time talking about the Last of Us TV show and Last of Us in general, because we do talk about the Last of Us a lot. And I didn't mean for this to happen, but this episode has Last of Us news in it because we are... It's probably been honestly 3 weeks since we've done an episode of JK Games, right?
Right. We skipped a week because we actually did release a Clickerbait episode that you should go check out if you're interested. But we had to take some time to address the Last of Us in the room. So we did.
Yeah, we had to. It had been a minute. So whether this is your first episode or your 138th episode, right? I did that. We welcome you. We hope you enjoy this ride. We are revisiting a topic from an older episode where we are going to go through our backlist of doom and what does that, how do we define the backlist or backlog of doom? How do we define it? Because we might define it something or a little different than you do.
I think everybody's is a little bit different. Into that.
Everybody's a little bit different. It doesn't matter if you bought the game, have you played the game? We're going to talk all about it.
Did
you play it for an hour? Drop it. We're in it together, and we're just here to talk about how much the lack of time we have in our lives to play all the video games. And I might sound like I'm complaining about it, but ultimately, it's the best problem to have. Way too many games.
It really is. It really is. And hey, don't get discouraged. This is all fun. We all have our games that we have started, picked up, put down, say we'll come back to, never come back to, or we do come back to. We've had some success stories out of this in the past. That's actually something we're going to bring up later is this is a segment we've done a few times, but the most recent one was last January. So it's been about a year and a half. And have we checked any of these off of our boxes? We'll see. Who knows? But before we get started, just a little housekeeping. We got to do our loadout.
Oh, that's where we suit up and get ready for the fight or whatever, the boss fight.
Yes. And yes, cognitive clips, too many games to play is the motto of 2023. It's a great time to be a gamer. I would argue that 2020 was probably, there was a lot of games coming out and a lot of time to play them, but a lot of crazy things going on in the world. So that's
just got behind a little bit.
But yeah, if this is your first time listening, welcome. We love to have you. If you're listening on the podcast apps after the fact or on our YouTube, we do live episodes. We go live on our Twitch, which is just JK Games Podcast. If you look us up there, you can follow us and tune in live in our chat. We love to discuss games with you guys. To let us know if you're listening now, what's on your backlog, and we can talk about it later. Our social media, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We have TikTok now. We even have Facebook. Your granny can follow us on Facebook, y'all. Go on ahead. It's JK Games Podcast.
Tell your grandma right now, or like, she will die or else. That's pretty drastic if she don't follow us on Facebook. At least maybe get some kind of following from the grandmas, grandpas, whoever. I don't care if they don't know what we're talking
Granny
about.
Society. Unite.
That's it. We have a whole other fandom out there that's over 80.
I can tell you our stats are not super great in the 60 plus range, but we would love to change that today.
Not yet. Maybe that's a new goal.
Granny's going wild. But yes, you can follow us there. We do a question of the week, which we will talk about in a minute. And you guys get to engage in our episode. We also put out a poll recently of what you wanted to see. So you guys voted on this. You guys wanted to see our backlog. You guys wanted us to expose ourselves. So here we are. We're going to go over that together. Next episode, I think what we're going to do is like the second half of the year game calendar release. There's a lot of games coming out. We'll talk about our hype level for all of them. Are we not hype about any of them? We'll talk about that eventually. We lay out our episodes in 3 different parts. If this is your first time, we have our easy mode, which we'll go first in just a moment, about basically just what we've been playing, what we've been doing. Nice, chill, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. And then we go into our normal mode, which is our news. We love our news. We have a couple of interesting things to discuss today. And like Jerica said, gotta have some Last of Us news. It's in there. Don't worry. But promise we won't speak the whole time about it, but it is a topic of conversation. All right. And then we have our expert mode where we're going to talk Backlog of Doom. We're going to compare our lists. We're going to talk about yours. Do we have the same? We'll figure it out together, but that is our loadout. We're suited up. We're ready to go. Jerica, how are you doing? What have you been playing? What's going on in your world?
I'm gonna be honest. I got stuck in the rain today and I was a little cranky about it.
That's
unrelated to video games. I just don't like being,
what?
To be honest, I don't like being wet in my clothes. It sucks. It makes me cold. It makes me cranky. I also was a little hungry earlier while the rain was like coming down on me. But as soon as I got home, I changed and I feel a lot better and had some food. But
Perfect.
Other than, just getting caught in the rain earlier, I've been doing great. Playing some games,
nice.
Trying to get through Final Fantasy and Tears of the Kingdom. That is my new objective.
Perfect.
That's basically what I've been playing. I've been playing a little bit of Destiny, but to be honest, the Solstice event just started and I went through some hoops. Okay, I'm not trying. Once again, I have a ghost shell tattoo on my arm. I love Destiny. I talk about Destiny a lot, even on this show. But I'm a little not burned out, but just I'm fine until the next season starts. I got all the seasonal rewards. I did the Solstice event just a little bit, and I ended up not seeing a huge payout from grinding in that. I didn't get the gear. You could basically customize and like craft your gear to have certain specs. And I was like, this isn't worth my time. Because the first roll of this arm piece that I made was not great. And I was like, well, I did a lot of work and that made me mad. So I'm not going to...
That'll do it.
I might not play any more of this. So I am just strapped in and ready to go until the Destiny Showcase, which is on August 22nd. And that's the same day the next season will start, which I believe will be the last season before the next expansion. Isn't that crazy? It feels like Lightfall just came out.
It really does. I know you talked a lot about it, so I love getting your updates.
Yeah. August 22nd, Destiny's doing or Bungie Showcase, whatever, talking about, it just left me. Final Shape, the last saga or expansion in the Light and Dark saga. So I can't wait to see what's coming from that. So I'm taking a little pause on Destiny. All that being said, I'm excited for what's to come in Destiny, but pausing until later. But yeah, just trying to beat Tears of the Kingdom and Final Fantasy 16 before Starfield comes out in September. So that is the goal.
Ooh.
I actually, I started streaming. Okay, Kayla started streaming.
Yeah, she did.
It's trying to figure out the time frame is the hardest part. Just making the time where I don't have to get up early and I can play a little bit. So I finally put out a schedule. I started streaming Final Fantasy 16, which hell of a game. I'm having a great time. Love the story. It's so epic, but there's so many cutscenes. And when I streamed it the other night, it was entertaining, obviously, but there's so many cutscenes and like,
yeah.
I haven't really figured out how to be a streamer that casually plays and doesn't say anything, but people like to watch me play something. And
It's
I'm not
difficult.
I don't say anything because I'm trying to listen. You know, I'm trying to listen to what these NPCs are saying in the story. So it's not as fun to watch, I feel like. So I flipped over to, instead of streaming Final Fantasy 16, I'm streaming the rest of my playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom. So I will only stream I will be playing that game. If I am playing Tears of the Kingdom, I am streaming it. So
I'm excited. You did one so far, and then we posted her schedule that she kind of made for herself. I think you said this upcoming like Monday and Friday, I think is what you said, or something like that.
Yeah, it's Monday, Friday next week, and I am excited because I've unfortunately I haven't streamed the whole thing. I'm 2 dungeons in. So I'm like halfway through the major story, but the last stream I did, it's probably still up on Twitch, was entertaining because I went and found Zelda's golden horse.
Ooh, horse girl.
I got killed by a dragon. I got killed by a dragon multiple times.
Oh,
because I'm horrible at playing this game. Like the fighting aspect, I'm so bad at it. And then I found this. I got distracted again, and it's really fun to watch anyone play Tears of the Kingdom because it's a playground, so you could do pretty much anything you want to do.
Yeah.
But I started climbing this tower in the sky, this large stone structure, and I don't know what's at the top. I didn't make it to the top before I had to end the stream because I was hungry. What's new? I'm just hungry again.
Hungry girl.
But I'll be picking that back up on Monday to see what's on the top of that pillar, that thing that I'm climbing.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Nice. What about you, Kayla?
Katronica, hi in the chat. Welcome. We love you. Thanks for joining. Oh, one thing really quick, side note. Tears of the Kingdom Distraction is a great name for the game. That's funny. Have you been watching season 2, or is it season 2? Season 3 of The Witcher? You watched any of it?
No. Nah.
Oh, it's good. You liked the...
It's good? Okay.
Did you like it before? You watched it, right? I thought so.
I only watched season 1, and I love season 1. Audrey watched season 2 and said, you don't, it's fine. You're not missing much. So I had to watch season 2. So I'm still writing that sort of critique from Audrey, and I'm like, I haven't really jumped back into it. But you like season 3 of The Witcher?
I do. I agree with Audrey on like, I loved season 1. It's a little confusing, but like, I feel like once you get into the like rhythm and you understand, like it's really good. The book series is based off a book series, and there's games, obviously. It's really long, so I think that they're kind of playing on that. However, you know, what's his name? Henry Cavill is not going to be in the next season. It's going to be somebody else. Me,
that's the reason why I don't want to watch it. Like, I don't want to get...
Yeah, I get that.
I forgot. What happened with him not being in it? Did he do something bad?
Well,
is he a weirdo?
No.
I don't even know.
So, this is interesting. I'm glad you asked. I know we're getting a little derailed, but that's who we are here.
Sorry.
No, I brought it up. He actually is a big nerd if you follow Henry Cavill on social media. And so he actually left because he felt like they were derailing too much from the like original story. Like he was like, oh, the creative, he said it very eloquently. It was mutual terms. He was like, the narrative direction is just going away from what I like originally felt like it was intended to. But I think it's good. I've been watching it. I'm only a couple episodes in. But I've enjoyed it. So, but I do understand the critique of season 2. It wasn't the best for sure.
Yeah. Clips is like, it's going to be Liam Hemsworth, right? That replaces him.
It is. Okay. And I agree. Like, I also feel like I will lose interest in that, but I'm going to watch it while I still can. Hopefully it doesn't end on a cliffhanger. Maybe I'll watch it. We'll see. I don't know. But as far as what I've been playing a couple different things. My main thing that I am like mainlining, trying to finish is Jedi Survivor. I am having a great time. It is really fun. I've talked about this before on our last episode, but there's a lot of mechanics that I didn't expect. Like that make it have a lot of play value to me. And I think Katronica's playing it too, or she has played it. But I really enjoyed Fallen Order. Was like one of my favorite games the year it came out. And so obviously we talked again about there were some technical difficulties with the game that I think caused Jerica to put it down until they come up with like a better solution, right, Jerica, as far as the quality. Yeah.
The frame rate, there's a lot of tearing still. And I was like, not until it's fixed.
Yeah, I get that. I think it's really fun. I'm really enjoying this story. There's a lot to do. So I would say, I think based on Hunter, my husband, has finished it. Katronica said, I've played Fallen Order. I'm waiting for Survivor to come to Game Pass. Fair enough. My husband has finished it. I think he said I'm about 75% done. I'm not doing like all the side quests and 100%ing it. He actually tried to 100% it and cannot like fully explore the planet. There's a ton of different planets you can explore. If you're unfamiliar with what we're talking about, it's a Star Wars game following Cal Kestis, who quickly became one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I think he's really awesome. But I'm really excited for the Star Wars Outlaws when it comes out. I think that's going to be
I know, that looks
super
so good.
awesome.
It almost looks too good to be true, so I can't wait to see some more gameplay from it.
And so playing that's like my main story goal to finish right now. I'm also playing a game that I've discussed here before, but I will always talk about because it's one of my favorite indie games, Coral Island. It's really fun. I posted about it on our Instagram a few weeks ago, maybe. It's really fun. It's basically a city builder, like farming type game, but there's a lot of differences in it. Like there's a very like sea vibes, like there's the ocean, there's mermaids, there's all kind of really cool stuff. If you like sim type games, Stardew Valley, like mesh those together, this is a really great game for you. There's tons of different characters. They're dateable characters. The artwork is really pretty, and it's by a studio called Stairway Games that's based in Indonesia, and they're really awesome. They do a lot of great things like for the environment. They do a lot of great volunteer things that they post about. Booze Bags JD said, my wife and I love Coral Island. Cool changes it's had in the past several months. Awesome. I don't really know a lot of people that have played it, so I love to talk about it to get more people to play it. But so it's technically in early access right now. So there's tons of updates happening 24/7. They really have their hand a lot in the game. Very great. I don't remember exactly how much it is. I think it's like $20, but there's a lot of stuff to do. They have events just like kind of similar to Stardew Valley. It's on Game Pass. I actually didn't know that. I think I bought it before it was on Game Pass for PC. But yeah, I've really been spending a lot of time in that. It's really fun. I kind of want to stream it one day. I think that would be fun to watch. It's very relaxing, very cozy. The soundtrack is great. Katronica said, did y'all see that Stardew Valley is coming to Apple Arcade? I did not see that.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool. I feel like that'd be kind of hard to play on my phone, though. What do you think? No, I don't know. Maybe
I'll
not.
definitely give it a try.
And then the last thing I'm playing that I haven't talked about yet is Harmony, The Fall of the Reverie. Reverie. I don't know exactly how you say it. It actually came out this year. It is a choose your own adventure type story game. It's a point and click. There's not really any gameplay. It's basically just a story that you're playing through. But I found it super interesting. It was I think it's also on Game Pass, I believe. But it came out earlier this year, and I want to try out because the art looks like hand-drawn. It's very beautiful.
Oh, cool.
And there's basically like different story beats that you can go through. There's like two different worlds. There's like a human world and then like almost like a godlike world. The main character is looking for her lost mom, and she has to like communicate with these gods who can like see the future sort of. And you can see like the map, air quotes around map if you're listening, because it's like, okay, if you choose this, sometimes you can see like there's two options you can choose in the story, and it all impacts like the whole ending. Like it's giving Life is Strange kind of vibes. And there's like stakes. So like you lose like certain bits of information, or you gain certain bits of information based on what choices you make. So I think that's really fun. I love that kind of thing. If you're into a really good story and like storytelling in games, I think you would really like this, but definitely don't go into it expecting like super superb like gameplay, because there really isn't any gameplay. You're just like choosing options, but still really fun. I'm working through that. I would say I've gotten pretty far in it, but I can't really tell because you can't see like the whole scope of the game quite yet. And I didn't really look up how much it is or how many hours it is, but that's all for me. Aside from my, I still play some Fortnite. Haven't streamed it in a while because I just haven't really booted up the old Twitch while I'm on there yet. I'm usually looking like a little gremlin while I play like this.
But I love looking like a gremlin. It's fun. It's my favorite pastime. Okay.
Katronica said in the chat, Lewis and I finished Storyteller together, and it was super cute enough. It was pretty short. Oh, I haven't heard of that, actually. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. That's all I got. We can go ahead and jump on into the news.
Well, we can go and dive into that first. Hot off the press. I feel like this happened yesterday or today. But have you seen the new Spider-Man 2 trailer, Kayla?
I have.
Okay.
I'm excited. It looks really good. Venom is, Spider-Man. So this is actually funny and very topical. Me and Hunter, my husband, are rewatching all of the Spider-Man movies right now. Every single one of them. All of them we're watching. So this is a hot take. This might start some debate. I don't want to do that, but it's just nostalgic reasons. The Tobey Maguire movies are like my favorite.
They're great. I enjoy them too.
They're cheesy,
there's a lot of fans out there for Tobey Maguire. Obviously, he made an appearance again, so we love him.
Yeah, I think that it's really fun. It just is very nostalgic to me. The first one, like me and my brother would watch all the time. Like I spent a lot of time watching it. I was annoying Hunter so much. I was like saying like the dialogue, like he's like shut up. But with that being said, like it's very much on my brain right now. We're now started the Andrew Garfield ones, which I haven't seen those in a long time. So I'm excited to watch those. Those are his favorite. But as far as this trailer, like I was kind of on the last bit we got like 10 minutes of gameplay. I don't remember what show that was at. Was that the PlayStation Showcase? Right? It was
a showcase that was sort of a letdown, but that sort of helped it out.
It did.
With having the gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
But I did pull the story trailer sort of description from PlayStation.blog.
Okay.
Just to sort of like if there's bits that we might have forgotten. The trailer sets up our story in the game while also giving you your first look at the monstrous Venom in Marvel's New York. Here's Marvel's Spider-Man 2 senior narrative director John Paquette to offer a deeper look. I probably butchered his name.
Oh, it's okay.
So at the beginning of our story, our Spider-Men are at the top of their game, but both Peter Parker and Miles Morales are struggling with their personal lives. Miles is trying to find time to write his college entrance essay, but he keeps procrastinating and focus on spider work. I like that, spider work instead. Meanwhile, Peter is underwater on payments for Aunt May's house, but he can't sell. It means too much to him. And just like Miles, Peter tries and fails to find balance with so many responsibilities. MJ, we'll get to that. Yeah, I saw your comment in there, clips about MJ.
Mm-hmm.
MJ wants to help Pete with the mortgage, but her job is on the line right now.
Adult Spider-Man probs.
It really sounds like, man, they went in hard with like adult problems for the Spider-Men in this game. I
think that's kind of fun,
It's going to be, it definitely is an exciting sort of take that, at the end of the first game, they're sort of, or even at the end of Miles Morales, like, just sort of not on top of the world, but like almost feeling like they have made some success with their abilities and what they're all about and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it does sound like this game, like they're having some tough situations happen in real life. And then, obviously I'm probably going to bug Hunter to death because I know he knows a lot about comic book lore. And with Insomniac, they are telling a brand new story with these characters, these villains that we've known from other bits of Spider-Man medium.
Mm-hmm.
But I am excited to see like how their personalities and their internal conflicts, like what about that makes this even like higher stakes in the game with Kraven. Kraven looks like a wild man.
He does.
That comes from another planet. I know nothing about Kraven. And then Kraven. And then we have Venom. And, from the previous trailer, I thought Venom was I thought he was inside of Peter. In the gameplay trailer, he was, but in this, it seems like he's not attached to Peter yet, right? Did you get that as well?
So Venom is what's called a symbiote. So basically what that means is like a type of like organism that like takes over its host. So Venom can be like split apart basically. So what I think happened to Peter is similar to what happened to Peter Parker in the third Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, where like part of the like black like symbiote little like thing, you know what I'm talking about? Got into him.
That's a good sound effect.
Got into him and like made him the black suit and everything. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think it's not actually Venom. It's like the organism that makes up Venom, I think.
So we can, like, me and you could swap Venom around. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like swapping spit.
Venom is an entity that is made up of that black stuff, but the black stuff can infest other people too. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that sounds like a great time and a great setup for this game to be a complication for our Spider-Man.
Right.
Another thing I wanted to, call out from the trailer, that we of course got to see some returning characters. We also got to see Harry for the first time. We didn't see him in the last game,
no,
right?
I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing his character.
I don't think so.
Because he was out of town or sick or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I need to watch a refresher on that. But yeah, not to also to Clips's point, like the characters look a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I love Miles's look.
I do too.
He looks great. I can't wait to see more of his story and where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then MJ and Peter both look a little different. Like, we know and with the original Spider-Man game, there was I don't remember if it was like the actual voice actor or the actor motion capture or facial capture. They changed what Peter looks like in not the remake, but the PS5 version of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
They changed how Peter looked completely different.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't mind the change. But in this trailer, I don't know if it's just, I forgot how long it's been. Like how many, I feel like it's been like a year or a few months. Like since it's for the story progressing into this game.
I'm not 100%
it's somewhere.
sure.
If anyone has the answer, it'd be great. But
Yeah,
I feel like some time has passed. A little bit of time has passed. But Peter looks a little. None of them look bad, but they do look a little different.
Yeah,
and it just take a little bit to get used to.
I think it's fine. I think that like I think as long as the story is good and the characters are good, like if they look a little bit different, to me that's fine.
And they probably made those changes honestly because like I have no idea. I just remember maybe with Peter Parker's look, like it's obviously better technology and better motion capture to like
refreshed.
Whatever they did, it was. Okay, yes, they changed, thank you, Clips, so much.
Wow.
You're so helpful. They changed Pete to look a little bit more like the voice actor, Yuri. I cannot. Lowenthal. Yes. Yuri, to look more like him, which I think is better for the acting and motion capturing for video games. I don't do that, so I don't know if that's true, but I feel like that does make it easier.
You're not a professional caster?
Not yet. No? Maybe one day.
Hey.
Yeah. You never know.
Maybe.
All right.
But it looks good. I'm excited. I think it looks great. Side note, they did release an exclusive PlayStation 5 which
of course they did.
Super cool. My screen just got really bright because I pulled it up. But they also had like cute little like reveal trailer. Did you watch that, Jerica? It's like 30 seconds. It was like pretty short.
Looks good.
I thought that was really fun. I'm tempted. I think I'm going to buy the controller. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but what's cool, and Jerica called this out to me, and I didn't realize that you can buy the side plates separately. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
that was, I could almost see PlayStation not doing that.
Yeah.
And be like, you only can get this if you buy the PlayStation. But I'm so glad they were like, we're going to try to take our wins here. There's going to be people that want the plates, and then there's going to be people that buy a PlayStation for the first time just for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
So they're probably a good financial move for them to make money in two different ways. So, which is actually a more Sony decision to do it this way.
Did they say how much it was going to be for just the plates?
I bought the purple plates for my PlayStation.
That's
I don't remember exactly how much they were. I feel like it was not more than $80, not more than that.
That's good.
And then you said like the controller will be separate too, which I'm very tempted to get the controller. I'm just gonna have so many PlayStation 5 controllers. It's dumb. It happened to me during the PlayStation 4 time too. So.
Katronic said, but is it as cool as the Porsche Xbox? I did not see the Porsche Xbox, but
I remember that.
I'm sure that's cool.
I think it's cooler. Actually, the Porsche Xboxes look pretty neat. Like some of them look really cool because I feel like there was a different versions of it, like different.
Oh, I'm sure.
Unless I'm remembering something else. Regardless.
Well, that's all the Spider-Man.
I will get the controller.
I do really want the controller. It looks cool because it's got like the Venom black symbiote taking over.
Yeah, it looks cool. I hope some goo comes out of it and touches my fingertips when I'm playing. That's part of the new DualSense. It's the DualSense 2.
Oh.
The DualSense U.
Karen, she did send me a picture. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. The Porsche Xbox. Well, that is all in Spider-Man news. Jerica has...
Kayla, I have a question.
Yes.
Would you wear something around your body that imitates you getting stabbed or pushed around? Or actually, let me take that back. I'm misquoting here. Maybe replicates the feeling of doing parkour. Would you?
Maybe...
All right, let's find out. If you want to feel like an assassin, you might be able to, because hot off the press, and I'm so excited to talk about this with you. The title here, experience severe abdominal wounds with official Assassin's Creed Mirage haptic feedback suit for PS4 and PS5.
This is so weird.
The official Assassin's Creed Mirage haptic feedback suit from manufacturer. Is it OWO or is it one of those ooey things? Is it that? Ooh. I don't know. I just wanted to really do that. They promise to bring you closer than ever before, quite literally. Compatible with PS5, PS4, among other consoles and PlayStation. I'm sorry, PC. The wearable suit will allow you to experience every bump and bobble as you physically embody the protagonist, Basim. Using this system, you'll be able to feel precise movements when you take down your targets, the official press has teased. But beware, Kayla, they are out to get you. Don't let your enemies get too closer. You will feel the consequences.
That is terrifying.
Apparently, you'll be able to experience impacts in parkour while the suit is capable of replicating a wide array of sensations.
That is...
I'm gonna wiggle my eyebrows there, including several abdominal wounds. So that might be, something that might be up your alley. I don't know if it's up mine just yet, but it's more than likely going to cost around $500.
That's insane.
But you get a free copy of the game for PS5.
Okay.
For buying this shirt that allows you to feel a wide array of sensations.
Antsy, that's the ad.
Yes.
Sponsored by.
So, I don't know. I don't think, I tweeted about this a few days, whenever this was going around on the internet, and I'll say this, when I'm sitting down to game, it's already taken enough. It's taken a lot out of me just to stream it and be somewhat presentable. Like Kayla said, I like to look like a gremlin when I'm not in front of a camera. I like to really grimify my body. And that means I don't like to wear my bra.
Yeah.
I like to, wear sweatpants, a light shirt. I like to really relax and let the body rest. And I just don't need another suit to tie me down. It's already, I'll say it again, it's already enough to wear a bra all day.
Yeah.
Ladies out there supporting
understand.
your breasts. Okay. So I don't want anything else to zip up and strap down. Okay. So I don't think this isn't for me. This might be for someone else. But Kayla, would you imagine this being applied to other games? Like if you're playing Fortnite, in a world maybe where you could feel, in Fortnite and other games, that. But if I'm getting shot at from behind, but it's not going to kill me, maybe feel something like ow, ow, oh, 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 and it's coming from your back right. That might be sort of nice, right?
On your left. Yeah.
On your left. Oh. I don't know.
I
would try. I would try to see what it feels like.
Upon further investigation, no. But it would be cool, especially if you were in VR playing something scary. Oh, can you imagine you're playing something scary in VR, like Resident Evil Village, and you feel something grab your back.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Or like the Alice trials that we played, like, which by the way, we should stream that again. That was really fun.
It was fun.
Like feeling like creepy crawlies. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
I can't believe this is where we're at in gaming technology, man. That's crazy.
That's where we're at.
I can't believe it.
It's just evolving. All the sensations.
Speaking of where we're at, in the universe of The Last of Us, we got developments. I didn't know anything about this. Jerica, I would love for you to educate our listeners.
I'll educate you.
And me.
Once again, take it with a grain of salt. This is also from news from like 2 weeks ago. So we're just now getting to it, Kayla.
Hey, it's fine.
And it is all out of, it is, I don't really like talking about leaks for real. Because it's, who knows if it's real. And not necessarily, like, I would never want to leak some, like, big deal thing. Like, obviously, you have access to the internet, but it's nothing too intense. Like, and who knows? It's probably not real. But, so take it with a grain of salt. But we do have some leakers out there that seem to have their hand in some knowledge surrounding what Naughty Dog's working on. And there's been rumors that Naughty Dog's working on a new IP, Last of Us Part 3, and obviously they've been working on, which might be at a more of a pause. Let's revisit this, the multiplayer game. So Naughty Dog's doing a lot of things, but there have been a couple of leakers that are, if I'm not, I could be wrong, but I remember like one or two of the leakers that are talking about this stuff are really tied to like film and movie leaks, TV shows, and that sort of thing. So it's rare that they talk about games, but with The Last of Us being sort of involved, like now a TV show, there might be some blending of those, the network of people that talk about these things. So we do have some leaks and rumors supposedly around Part 3. It's probably something that is definitely happening. Is it happening next? We don't know. Is it the new IP, new game? We don't know. We don't know. But from what this person has shared, that in my opinion, the information that was leaked was definitely could be like, I see it more tied to the multiplayer game.
Yeah.
But we do know that there's some new characters. 5 new characters are being introduced. There's a group of scavengers using a Victorian house as their base of operations. They include Lucas, character who develops a friendship with another young scavenger and will have to turn to show his dark side.
Ooh, the dark side.
Mason, a former soldier who must choose between his loyalty to Ezra and the house.
Ooh, the house.
Val, the female leader of the group. That's all we know about her. She's the female leader of the group. Ezra, a guy that wants to take over the house from Val. And then Gracie, who plays a young woman. So, and with everybody else sort of commenting on this, I think it's definitely multiplayer related more so than Last of Us Part 3.
It's a lot of new characters.
Well, they also talked about like the Victorian style house, and that's San Francisco, and that's where the multiplayer game is supposed to take place, is in San Francisco.
Okay.
So I think that's more tied. This information is definitely tied to the multiplayer, but who knows? It could be. There was a lot of new characters introduced in Part 3. So I don't know.
Hey, I'm down for either one. Give me either one.
And then another leaker actually confirmed, like, because like, oh, sounds like Ellie's not in the game, Ellie or Abby, blah, blah, blah. Sounds like all these new characters, which, like I said, I think it's a multiplayer game, but still. Someone said, Ellie is at least as important in Part 3 as she was in Part 2. There you go. That's the leak, which I think anyone could state that.
Yeah, there's no way.
If there's going to be another, like, Last was Part 3, then it's Part 3 of this story. So, of course, it's going to be about Ellie and maybe Abby. We'll see.
Give me whatever you want, Naughty Dog. Give me whatever.
There's stuff happening. This leaker also said that major filming's happening this year for the game, which means motion capture, but we don't know. We don't know any of this. We don't know this.
We don't.
But
especially with
they're
the
working
state
on
of
stuff.
The strikes and whatnot and things like that. So I doubt we're going to get anything anytime soon, but a girl can dream. We can dream.
Regardless, Naughty Dog's working on things. We know this, but it's just fun for me, it's just fun to get some validation that they're working on stuff. Just any crumble of info.
Give me the crumbles.
And last bit of Naughty Dog news. I promise you, this isn't a Last of Us Naughty Dog podcast.
This ain't clicker
just a little bit of things. This is just something I want to talk about, but I won't read through this whole thing. But the other co-president of Naughty Dog, Evan Wells, is retiring, or has, he's retiring at the end of the year, which will leave Neil Druckmann to fully take on the reins as one of the PlayStation's PlayStation's best known studios.
Ooh.
In a message published on Naughty Dog's website, Wells talked about his 30-year career. 30 years,
That is
Kayla.
crazy. It's time to retire.
In games. Well, 30 years in games, and praised Druckmann, saying that he's incredibly confident that leaving the studio he's leaving it in the best hands. Because they were co-presidents together of Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
So it now leaves, there won't be another president, so it will just be, I put in the title, Neil Druckmann is now the top dog at Naughty Dog.
Make Ashley Johnson co-pres. Give her co-pres.
Yeah, let's go. She knows, industry. She probably has learned a few things about game development at this point, being so close to it. But, I'm excited. It is interesting with just sort of talking. I know these are leaks, but obviously there's a few projects. It sounds like at Naughty Dog right now. And I just wonder how, even with the show, like with Neil still like being the president of the studio, like how separated is he from like, projects now? Like he is probably overseeing like, top level, overseeing multiple games.
Yeah, like high level.
So it's pretty crazy to think that, Neil Druckmann's not on this one project anymore, possibly. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud, like how that will change things at the studio.
I'm sure, like, because of how closely he was involved in the making of the TV show, like, I do feel like he is the kind of person that wants his hands in the things, So I feel like we'll still, like, have a lot of, like, direction, like, from him, like, in a scope of, like work specific, like the actual games. Probably,
it's a shame that I don't know the names of other developers that work there. I need to be a little bit more informed about that, but I'm sure he is, had tons of mentees.
Oh, I'm sure,
since, even jumping into his co-president role.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to see that, like, I'm just glad to see that studio like growing and, sort of not being forced to make anything in particular. But, it would be the dream. I know making games are hard, and, we might not see the next Naughty Dog game for another 3 to 4 years, which is sad. But maybe, things are changing in a way that, like, multiple teams can work on different things. Yeah. And I would love to have a Naughty Dog game, like, every other year or every 2 years, but that's too much. I don't want the words in the depth. I wish
crunch.
Game development could get to that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but it sucks that it takes so long and takes so much. I'm going on a ramble now, but it sucks that it takes so long to make these kinds of games.
I agree. Cognitive Clip said he is the Naughty Dog, which I love that.
He is the bad boy, doggy boy now. It's him. Anywho, that is all the news. Thank you for letting me talk the whole time, Kayla.
Yeah. Hey, I love when you educate me on the Naughty Dogs.
There's also tons of developments with the FTC and Xbox or Microsoft buying Blizzard.
That's right.
I tried to catch myself on that, and I thought it was over, but apparently things are still happening, and Microsoft still can't buy Blizzard. I don't really know. So maybe on another episode, we'll sort of get into that and see what the current status of that, whole ordeal is. But that's been a mess.
It really has. I think I saw that Call of Duty is staying on PlayStation, because I know that was a big point of contention.
I think I remember hearing that there was an agreement with Call of Duty, which I'm thankful for that, because like you shouldn't put. No, I don't know. We don't support console wars in this place. We don't support it, and then also like let people play Call of Duty wherever they want. Yeah. Like, get over the money you're making. Both you companies make plenty of money. Yeah. Just let the game live on both places and make a deal.
Inclusive gaming, like they did that. No matter the platform.
You can't put Call of Duty
in a box.
On one thing. That's just you can't do that.
Nobody puts baby in a corner. No. Let's get into the meat, of the episode. Gobble it up. The expert mode. We're gonna talk about what has been on our backlog for a while. What do we have that's new? What is a backlog? I'm so glad you asked, because like Jerica said earlier, many people look at it differently. The way that like me and Jerica have kind of talked, or how we did on our last episode, and like how I personally consider it, if it's something that I have purchased or downloaded and booted up for at least like I personally would say maybe like an hour, like something, you're not just like trying it out. Like I recently got into PC gaming in the last year and I got PC Game Pass and I downloaded a shit ton of games and like 2 minutes, like tried them. Do I like this? No. Yes. Maybe I'll bring it up later. That sort of thing. I usually say like if I've invested at least like an hour maybe into the game, and then like, do I put it down and never pick it back up? Some things can exit and re-enter the backlog like multiple times. I've had many a game do that where I picked it back up. And don't get us
many a game.
Don't get us wrong. That just because something is on the backlog does not mean it's bad. It doesn't mean we're not interested in it. It just means like there's so much. The industry is so saturated, like we've been talking about. There's so much to play and so little time. Me and Jerica both work full time. So there's a lot of stuff you got to fit into your game and where you can. Fads coming in and out. We have this podcast. We want to make sure we can talk to you guys about the latest and greatest while still taking games that are older that we haven't gotten to play. So with that being said, our last episode, anything else you would consider to be on the backlog, Jerica?
I think you defined it perfectly.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think it definitely doesn't count if you bought it. It doesn't count until you start playing it.
I think so. I think that's true. Because
that's our definition.
How can it be on the backlog if, well, maybe it's like two separate things. Maybe
intent to play is different than trying to play and then putting it down.
Yeah.
Because we're all about like trying to be better about, if I put money into this, if I spent $60-$70 in this, I should play it.
Yeah.
I don't need to waste my money either. So
for sure. So let's talk about what was on our last episode. What was new to our backlog in January of 2022, or like what had already been on our backlog at that point. We've done several episodes. If you want to go back and check them out, you can just search like JK Games Backlog of Doom. Let's see. I will start with me. This one is actually one that is on both of our lists, and that is Oxenfree.
I know.
Jerica, have you gotten to take that off your list?
No,
I have
it's
not
still
either.
On there.
And I'll be honest, I think it's so cute. I love it. I think it's a really great time, and I got decently far on my Switch in it. But I kind of got stuck at this one part, and I don't know if you've ever done that. I'm sure if you're a gamer and you're listening, you've experienced this in some capacity, but I got stuck and I like rage quit and didn't pick it back up. So,
in those moments too, as soon as you like give it a few hours or a few days, you pick it back up and you just solve whatever it was. I don't know what that's called, but that always happens immediately. To me. But with Oxenfree, I did want to finish it. Like I don't want to play
the second one. Just came out.
One. Yeah.
Our friend Spotlight Games started playing it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. What were you saying? You don't want to what?
I don't want to play the second one until I play this one.
Of course, yeah. So Katronica really quick said a backlog is definitely the hidden ledger that you have in the back of your house that chronicles your hidden poker ring. What? I love that. So Oxenfree.
What's more embarrassing? Clips was like, what's more embarrassing? Hiding excessive gambling or hiding an excessive backlog?
Oh, great question. Great question. So Oxenfree's on both of ours. I definitely plan on, I'm going to leave it. And this is another thing. Sometimes stuff has to be retired from the backlog. Is it ever going to happen?
Just go ahead and put it to death.
Yeah.
Just say that I'm never going to beat this game and my money's wasted.
Right. Exactly. So that's on both of ours. I definitely still plan on getting into it. The next one for me is Psychonauts 2. It's on my backlog.
It's also on mine too.
Oh, it is? Okay, great.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, I never beat it.
I feel better about that. Okay.
I got pretty far.
So did I. I loved it. I think it's very unique. It's fun. I like the gameplay. I think something else, like a lot of stuff was coming out around that time. Is that this year or was that last year? That was last year. Came out last year.
I think so.
It's really fun. I have it on my PlayStation. Still, I sunk a good bit of hours into it. Katronica said, love that game, finished it. I plan on finishing it eventually. That's why we're here. Moving on. There's another game, and this one, multiplayer games and like games that don't necessarily have an end. Yes.
Kayla, sorry. Psychonauts came out August 25th, 2021. Yeah. I sort of thought it was like, I think it was older. I think it wasn't last year. It was the year before last.
That's really upsetting.
Okie dokie. No! Here we go. That's why it's called the Backlog of Doom. No! Why it must be revisited.
No! I really do want to revisit it. I promise.
Yeah.
What gets a little difficult and tricky, I usually try not to necessarily include multiplayer games or like games that don't have like an end, but I think they can sometimes be included because I have Splitgate on here. It's like a multiplayer shooter game that came out that has like different portals and was really cool. I played it I was like hyper fixated on this for a while. I played it a ton and then I never picked it back up again. Literally ever. So I don't know that I will. I'm probably going to retire that. There's just too many multiplayer games and like shooters that I like. So retired. I think I got it for free on like one of the PlayStation games of the month. So I'm not too upset about it. So this is another one that's on mine, and I think it was on yours as well. Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
It's on mine.
It is.
Yep.
It's on mine, which is very sad, but like, oh no, I forgot. I have to add Super Mario Strikers too, which is really sad because you guys know.
Can you beat that game?
No.
Is it?
But
then don't count it. Yeah, don't count it.
You're right. But I was so excited about it. Y'all know. But it just didn't hit the same. I was slightly disappointed in that. Like, I know it's not called Super Mario Strikers. That's like what the original game is called. But I can't remember what the new title is. Battle League or something? Something like that. So yeah, that's on my backlog as well. And then finally, for my previous episode, Death Stranding. You know, it's still on there. I think me and Jerica have discussed that. I'm just gonna watch the the like cutscenes.
Yeah. So just watch the movie on YouTube. I'm sure there's a movie, like all the cutscenes put together. I will say, you know, technically you still have time.
I do.
I will say my friend Laura beat that game playing on a Steam Deck, so it's possible.
Wow.
Not discrediting Laura's gameplay ability. She's become a real hardcore gamer now that she has a Steam Deck because she had a hard time playing on the computer screen, made her sick, and then also her cat wouldn't let her play on the screen. Something about like jumping in her lap and like touching her face or something. But Laura beat Death Stranding, and that was pretty wild that she did that.
Nice. Okay.
That's not a normal type of game for her to play, but it was weird enough where it caught her attention.
Would love to hear her commentary on it. I would love that.
It's hilarious. She has some. She sent me. It's great.
She was on our show one time. I think so. Yeah. So yeah, that is all of there's definitely more, I'm sure, but like that is all from my like previous episode that we did. Now, some new additions. Let's talk new additions. Like I mentioned before, and if you guys know me, I usually am playing multiple games at a time. I'm actively playing a good bit. Like everything I mentioned today in easy mode. Another thing I'm like playing through is Life is Strange Before the Storm. I wouldn't consider that on my backlog because I pick it up like periodically. Like maybe it's on the backlog. I don't know. I think like we didn't define necessarily how long does it have to not be played to be on the backlog. Mm-hmm. But I play it probably like once a week, like just a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. Is that considered? Not sure. But I digress. New additions. Deathloop is being added to my backlog. I know it was really popular. Was it last year or was that also 2021?
Oh,
I think it was also 2021.
I think it was too.
It came out on Game Pass and I downloaded it and it was fun. I liked it. Jerica, you really liked that game, didn't you?
I did. I liked it way more than I thought I was going to like it. Yeah. And it was just being advertised in my face so hardcore that I'm like, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to hear about Deathloop again.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I was able to, I'm glad people review games because without the reviews I was getting, I wouldn't have played it.
Yeah.
It was good. It's a good game. I beat it. It was a good time. I like the music, the gameplay. It's awesome.
I definitely downloaded it and have played a good bit of it, but have not completed it. So that's on there. That's new. Two similar.
Yeah, Deathloop came out in 2021.
I'm living in the past, man. I'm living in the past.
Time flies, when you're playing Apex Legends, Fortnite, and Destiny. and nothing else.
That's a good point. I haven't played Apex in a while. I need to pick that back up. Anyways, getting distracted. 2 rhythm games. Rhythm games were really popular there for a minute. Hi-Fi Rush is on my backlog. I didn't finish it. I liked it a lot. It was very popular there for a minute. I hopped on the train. It was on Game Pass, so I didn't waste money, which is nice. But it's not a waste. I think it's fun. I'm not good at rhythm games, y'all. I'm not good at them. And that's just something that I just have to admit to myself. What I like about Hi-Fi Rush is that there's the option to play it on easier, which is nice. I usually am going to play it on easier. And then another one that's really cute, an indie game that came out, Melatonin. I also really liked that one. But I have yet to play it again. So it is on the backlog. It is joining its friends on the backlog. Another one is Horizon Forbidden West. I didn't beat it. Jerica beat it. Jerica liked it.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. I played a good bit of it too. It's difficult, man. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You might sense a theme here. Once things get hard, Kayla's bowing out. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Not always. But that one, I still have it. Spent money on it. Bought it full priced. It's downloaded on my PlayStation. I just haven't kicked it back on in a minute. That's another one where I was just like, I need a break. It's large. It's a large game. And here's the thing. I have Final Fantasy 16 on here only because
you played the demo. I don't want to count that.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to give you that one because don't let that count.
Okay.
Don't start it till you're ready to go all in, because that's when you don't want to just like quit playing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right.
That's why I'm not stopping right now. I'm like going in hardcore. I'm gonna beat Final Fantasy.
Yep.
The next couple. I still sort of lame because I was, when I was on Kind of Funny a month ago, I told Greg Miller that I would finish in a month, and he wanted updates every week, and I only updated him 1 week because I fell so far behind. So I feel like I failed him.
Not Greg Miller.
And I'm sure he's so busy he forgot. Luckily, he'll never know that I did not finish it in a month. So,
but you're right. I shouldn't add that onto my thing because it is going to be my first ever Final Fantasy game. So I'm waiting until I finish Jedi Survivor until I start it, so that I don't have big games going on at the same time. And so that is it. I think that's it for my backlog. It doesn't seem like a lot, but also it is a lot. And so, Jerica, do you want to take us through, see if any of your older ones, we talked about a couple of yours, any of your other ones, have you knocked anything off of your list? What's new? Would love to know from you.
I did knock off one of off my list.
Ooh.
So, and there's a few on here that you captured for me, so I'll read from both lists.
Yeah.
I have, once again, I'm going to go ahead and take off Bloodborne.
Okay.
There's some Bloodborne fans in here that might hate on me, but I just don't think I could get into that game.
It's not for you.
It's not for me. I don't really like the world. It just doesn't. I'm not into that like gothic-y, which is strange because I sort of like Doom, but that's not really gothic-y. I don't know. That's not even a word. Bloodborne, I don't think I'm ever going to beat, Kayla.
That's fair. I get it.
I
get it. Cognitive Clip said, Jerica, your Kind of Funny guest hosting is what brought me here. Yay!
Woo, woo, woo. Well, don't tell Greg that I lied about beating that game in a month. So we'll just keep that between us.
Right. Exactly.
I'll tell him when I'm done. Maybe one day. I am going to beat it before September.
I believe in you. I think you can.
I think I'll have that game completed. Here I go again.
Uh-oh.
In 3 weeks. At least 3 weeks.
I think you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah. Okay. Outer Worlds is still on my list, and that's one I want to get back to before the sequel comes out, because they did announce, Obsidian announced they are doing Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
But with Starfield coming out, that could be one I just need to remove off the list, because that's way too many space RPGs in my life, and I think Starfield's going to take over my life.
Me too.
I did beat... There's been 2 Call of Duty games, so whatever Call of Duty game was before the latest one, I beat that.
Modern Warfare? No, that's the most recent one.
Whatever was before that. Vanguard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I beat that. I still have one Titan left in the Shadow of the Colossus remake. I am on the last Titan still. I should stream that. Like, just hop back in, have it played in years, and just start playing
the last one.
The Shadow of Colossus, the final Titan. Like, go ahead and see if I can take it down and have it played.
That'd be really funny.
In over a year. So, I'm at the very end of the game.
Welcome, Dino Mac, first time chatter. Hello.
Yeah, hey.
Welcome. We're talking about all of our games.
I follow him some of his content on Twitter with like we talk Destiny sometimes.
Aww.
So I believe we taught Destiny.
Wow.
So yeah, thanks for joining us. Let's see. I'm really proud of one of these that I'm able to knock off the list. I'll save it for last.
Oh.
I'm gonna save it for last. Witcher 3 is still on my backlog of Doom. I have never finished Witcher 3.
Our Valley of Plenty.
Titanfall 2 is on there. And I've started that twice in 2 different places, PC and on the Xbox. I know. And I'm going to finish that one for you, Kayla, because that's one of Kayla's favorite games.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm missing out, apparently.
It's okay.
A lot of love for Titanfall 2. Yeah. A lot of people want Titanfall 3.
Yeah. Me, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I put Animal Crossing on here, but that game, you don't beat it. Get that off of there. I'm sure all my Animal Crossing friends are dead, and the weeds are taking over the island.
Our neighbors, get them out.
I'm scared to boot up that game because it's been over 2 years.
It's kind of triggering. It's like COVID, you know. That's like the.
It is. Maybe I have an eyelash in my eye, so I'm sorry. I'm like digging in my eye right now.
You look fed up stabbing me with your backlog. Dynamac said this is like a confession. Yeah, it is.
It really is. I'm just like, you know, I need some holy water sprinkled on me.
I rebuke thee. Game backlog. Anyways,
I was gonna finish Final Fantasy VII, the original, the OG game, because I think I have it on the Switch. Like they put out all the classic Final Fantasy games out, I think, on Switch, and I did not. I played that for like 3 days. Which was entertaining because in those 3 days of me playing a little bit, I basically and I say for 3 days, it wasn't 24 hours for each day. I played like an hour here and there. So maybe like 3 or 4 hours of gameplay. And I beat the first remake game, which takes you like 40 hours to beat.
Yeah. I remember that time.
It's so funny. Okay. Now, I had Miles Morales on this list. That's way done. I finished that.
Nice. Dan O'Mac. Got it. Dan O'Mac. Dan works too. Perfect. Thank you.
Dan. Mac. Boo.
Pew, 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 pew. Sorry.
Control, DLC. All the DLC for Control is still on my backlog. Really wanted to beat that before Alan Wake comes out because there's like an Alan Wake DLC in there. I don't want to see how they're connected.
Control is a game I still think about. I still think about that game a lot.
I'm running out of time. Yeah. I'm going to play Alan Wake too.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 is probably going to be also on this list forever. I just don't think it's one of those that I'm going to... Every time I pick it up, like now it runs pretty well on anything you play it on, which is great. But I don't know, like I just can't seem to get into it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, because I love playing RPGs. I do, but I can't get into this one.
My brother-in-law loves it. He still plays it to this day.
I'm gonna give it I'll give it another chance because everyone keeps like I have a lot of people that say it's worth beating and playing.
Dan said Cyberpunk is apparently short if you focus on the main story. Interesting.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
What else you got?
I have some new additions.
Oh.
We'll get back to... actually, I'll go ahead and tell you the one I finished that was... I didn't think it was actually going to happen. Nier Automata.
Yeah! Woo!
I finished that, and I got most of the endings, because you have to play through that game multiple times, basically. There's different versions of the game ending. And it's one of my girlfriend's favorite games, and she watched me play through it over and over, and it was so good. That game's fun.
Nice.
What a great soundtrack! It was right up my alley.
That's awesome.
I enjoyed that game.
See, a backlog success story. Wow.
Yep. I think I got pretty close. Not all 26, but I got a few of the accidental ones. So I need to go through and actually see what all endings I completed.
I love a good variety butterfly effect option. Love that.
My girlfriend's also an expert on Nier, so having her by my side was actually very mission critical for me beating that game.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. What else you got? New additions? We got some new additions.
Dead Space remake. Unfortunately, I put it down. I started it this year. I think I might actually go back to it around October.
Yeah,
maybe
spooky games.
Do like a spooky game stream.
Oh yeah,
get back to it.
We usually do a couple of those. Those are fun.
And Jedi Survivor obviously is on there only because there's screen tearing though.
Yeah, you can't.
But I do think I would have put it down. Not because it's not I think it's a great game, but there's a few other things out there that I'm really wanting to play.
More interested in.
Yeah, I know for a fact if I was still playing that and Final Fantasy came out, I would have probably went over to Final Fantasy because the reviews were great and I haven't cared about one in a bit, and this one interests me a whole lot.
For sure.
Planet of Lana has been added as well.
Oh yeah.
I started it. It's fun. It is really a really fun game to play.
It's pretty.
But I think I started playing Final Fantasy or Tears of the Kingdom. Duh. Those two big things.
That's a lot to take on right now.
Those games will pull you out of anything you're doing.
Yeah.
Your marriage, work-life balance. Everything will suffer if you are trying to play Tears of the Kingdom. You will have strange body odors that begin to come off your body. You might grow a beard. I think I'm growing a beard. Okay.
Dan, graphics bummed you out. We did talk about this a little bit earlier too. I am still playing it. Jerica put it down. It's on her backlog. Gotta say the story surprised me. That's what I've heard. I'm excited to finish the story. Haven't finished yet though. Do you have anything else, Jerica? Any new additions?
I do need to add Tiny Tina's Wonderlands to my list too, because I did start it and it was a good time. Something else pulled me out of it. Something pulled me out. So, but that's it. That's my updated list. Wow. I'm sure there's a few in there that I've missed because I have a horrible memory and I don't write down anything I start.
Yeah.
So I'm probably lying. Well, accidentally not sharing other ones that I've picked up. I went through my Steam library just to see if there was anything else I started, and there hasn't been.
Okay.
I think, if anything,
a couple I had on here, Immortal Phoenix Rising. Did you finish that?
Ooh, it's still on there. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, that one might die. Yeah. That one, I might give up on that.
Yeah. That's fair.
Ooh.
That's fair.
I technically could add this other game that I've keep saying that I'm going to beat. It's called Night in the Woods.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on Steam too, and I think you play it on Switch and other places.
I've been told that that's a really good one, but
it is. Endless. It is a good game.
I can go over a couple of our listeners.
Let's do it.
Ones. One of them in the chat right now, Cognitive Clips, on our Instagram said Persona 5 is on theirs. Persona 5. That was on mine once upon a time too. I kind of want to revisit it now that I've been actively playing games for a good bit longer. I think I could revisit it and play it. But it's big, right? It's a pretty big game.
Yeah, I think it takes 200 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of investment.
Complete.
And Assassin's Creed Odyssey is also on their backlog as well. Yeah, I understand.
Odyssey's a good game.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
Let's see. Josh Langley, viewer of the show, and recently did a Final Fantasy episode with, said BioShock 1 is on their Backlog of Doom for the longest.
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's missing out.
Now, I specifically asked our listeners what has been on their Backlog of Doom the longest. So that is
I think mine's definitely. Oh yeah, I was gonna share that. It's definitely Witcher 3.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
Me. I've been trying to beat that game for years.
Let's see. Okay, this is, if you missed the Final Fantasy episode we did, I don't know Roman numerals very well, okay? Don't come for me in the chat. I don't really know. But Kyle,
I've had some practice.
Kyle, listener of the show, let me see if I can get it. This is 16.
I think it is. No, I think it's 15.
15. XVIV. Is that 15? Is that 16?
I feel like that's a lot of V's.
Final XIV is been on his the longest.
Final Fantasy 14.
14. Thank you, Cognitive Clips.
It's been since elementary school since I've revisited Roman numerals. I like to think Final Fantasy and some random elementary school teacher for me just knowing what a Roman numeral is.
Yep, for sure.
So,
but if you're curious, we did a whole exposition with our friend of the show, Josh, on our YouTube exclusively because there's a lot of visuals if you want to go back and watch that, where we talk through a brief history of every single game in a spoiler-free way. So you can go check that out if you have no idea what Final Fantasy is. I feel like have been educated, except on the Roman numeral aspect. I'm still not educated on that. But yeah, that's all from you guys. Feel free to always let us know if you are listening to this after the fact. Shoot us a message on Instagram or Twitter.
Send us your backlist of Doom.
Yeah,
we can compare and not feel that way. We're not alone in all of the stresses of playing games you spent money on, or at least paid, 5 months worth of Game Pass and not played one thing.
For real.
Or maybe you played one thing and you just never went back to it.
Yeah.
So we can feel guilty together,
or
at least find some hope at the end of the tunnel together, and maybe we can convince one another to play one of these games that's on the list. So if anything, let's make some commitments.
Let's do that. I think we can do that together.
When do we want to revisit the Backlog of Doom again?
I say
6 months.
End of the year, maybe. Yeah, do like an end of the year update.
Ooh, end of the year is not a good idea for me because I just know I'm going to be all up in that Starfield.
What about January? Maybe.
I mean, the only 2 games I'm going to play the rest of the year are Starfield and Spider-Man.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we do
Nothing else. I just know I'm not going to commit to anything else. There's too much.
I mean, hey.
Let's say 6 months. Because that gives us... Because there's a lot of, probably every month.
August, September.
And for 6 months, there's a big game coming out.
Okay. We can do that. What do we want to accomplish in that time?
The next episode, we should definitely do, the next game's coming out in the next 6 months. That way we sort of, build our game plan. We gotta have a game plan. What's coming out? What are we in commit to playing and getting through? So, yeah, what's 6 months from now?
August, September, October, November, December, January.
Oh, shit. That's why you said January. I thought that was long... I feel like, okay, maybe a little bit longer than 6 months.
We'll figure it out. We'll
we gotta have a date. We gotta have a timestamp for when we're gonna get this done.
Let's say,
at least let's say one game off our list done by January.
I think we can do that.
We'll do it. I think it's doable. I'll force myself to quit playing other things. And there's not a lot of Destiny happening, so I can definitely probably manage that before February when the next big Destiny thing will happen.
I think at least one is doable. You guys want to commit with us? Let us know. Let us know.
What was on my list here that I think what can I beat here?
I can definitely beat Psychonauts 2 in 6 months. Easy.
Okay.
I think I'll do that one. Or Oxenfree.
Am I cheating if I say I'll beat the last boss in Shadow of the Colossus?
No.
Granted, it's been a long time. That game's hard to play. It's a remake, but they definitely didn't update any of the controls. It's a hard game my dude's jumping all over the place. I'm grabbing fur. That's not going to be an easy thing just for me to jump back into. So I will say I will have Shadow of the Colossus remake completed.
I will have Psychonauts 2 completed because I really liked it. So I will have that done by February.
Okay.
February? Yeah.
Sure.
And then,
January, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Like Jerica was saying, we will on our next episode go through what does the next 6 months of gaming look like, and what's coming out, what are we gonna play, what's our plans. Me and Jerica have some similar tastes, but we also have different tastes, so that'll be a fun kind of thing. And we'll ask a question of the week, so be on the lookout for what that will be, so you can be involved. Cognitive Clip said, I love Donkey's videos diving into convoluted backstories. We'll definitely do another one. Kingdom Hearts would be a good one to do next.
Actually, I forgot. Kingdom Hearts is actually it's on the list too.
Oh no.
That was bad. It's on the list. Kingdom Hearts 3 has been on the list since the year it came out, which I also think it came out in 2021. Maybe.
A lot came out in 2021.
Could have been 2020. Ooh. Regardless. Sure. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in that game, and I don't know if I'll ever beat it. Maybe we'll revisit that one next. Okay.
All right. I think that wraps up our episode. We made some commitments. We've had great discussion. We've talked about yours. We've talked about ours. What's our plan? What's our game plan? And we're just going to continue talking about gameplay in our next episode. So make sure you guys tune in next time. Thank you guys so much. If you guys were live and chatting with us, or if you're listening, thank you. We appreciate it. Don't forget to follow us again so you can be involved in our next episode. And we will catch you next time, probably with more games.
I'll actually catch you Monday.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget.
I'm going to stream more Tears of the Kingdom so we can get that off my... It's not even on the Backlog of Doom. It's not going to be. I'm going to beat that game with all of you.
Yeah.
I am. I'm with all of you. We're going to go on this adventure. I'm going to quit getting so distracted and beat this game.
So make sure you follow on Twitch and click the little bell to get notifications when Jerica goes live so you can keep up with her journey. Oh my God. Demon. A little demon. Demon souls.
Little demon. Oh, yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Bye.